Have you ever wondered what would happen if you woke up tomorrow and your digital self was gone? No profile, no followers, no videos, no archive of who you've been the last year, just erased. In the modern world, that's not just inconvenient, it feels like death, and maybe that's because, in a way, it is. Once upon a time, identity was physical. If you lived in your hometown, your reputation, your family name, your job, your church, your social circles. Now, identity lives in servers, side data farms humming quietly in undisclosed locations. Your face, your voice, your opinions, your memories compressed into algorithms. And here's the unsettling part. Most of us didn't notice when we handed pieces of ourselves over. When someone follows you, your brain releases dopamine. And as of one whose brain runs off dopamine, I concur. It's the same neurotransmitter triggered by gambling, sugar, approval, anticipation. Social media platforms are engineered to keep you checking. Did someone comment? Did I get a view? Did they like me? Because being seen feels like survival, and when that visibility disappears, your nervous system reacts like you've been socially exiled. In ancient times, exile meant death. Today, exile looks like suspension. There's something eerily similar between modern algorithms and ancient oracles. In places like Delphi, people once stood before the priestess known as Pythia, asking unseen forces, "Will I be chosen? Will I be favored? Will I succeed?" Today, we ask the algorithm the same questions, just we phrase it differently. Will this go viral? Will I be pushed? Will I grow? And like the oracle, the algorithm answers without explanation. Sometimes you're blessed, sometimes you're buried, and you never really know why. Here's where it gets darker. When your content performs well, your digital self expands. You feel validated, affirmed, visible. But when it disappears, you don't just lose numbers, you lose. You lose momentum, proof of impact, evidence that you mattered in that space, and the mind quietly whispers, was it ever real? That's the psychological fracture of the digital age. Because your worth becomes partially archived in metrics, and metrics can vanish overnight. But here's the twist most people don't talk about. If your identity can be deleted with a button, what is solid to begin with? Or were we building reflections, avatars, performances of ourselves, curated, edited, optimized versions? Not fake, but amplified. When the amplification stops, it forces a terrifying question. Who am I without an audience? That silence feels like death. But what if it's actually detox? When the constant validation cycles stop, the dopamine levels crash. Your brain feels flat, uninspired, unmotivated. It's not lack of talent, it's neurological withdrawal. The muse didn't leave, the stimulation did. We're the first generation in human history whose identities can be digitally erased, entire friendships stored in DMs, entire creative seasons archived in feeds, entire reputations depending on invisible moderation systems. And yet, the most powerful parts of you are still offline. Your voice, your ideas, your imagination, your conviction, those aren't stored in a server, they're stored in you. Maybe the real danger of the digital age isn't surveillance. It isn't algorithm. It isn't even censorship. It's outsourcing our sense of self to platforms that were never designed to hold it. Because platforms are temporary. Trends are temporary. But identity, the real one, survives deletion. So if your digital self vanished tomorrow, would you still know who you are? Would you still create? Would you still speak? Or would you feel like you died a little? That question might be the most unsettling one of all. Sometimes what feels like erasure is exacerbation, and sometimes the silence of the algorithm is where your real voice gets louder. In a world where identity flickers behind screens, be careful what you anchor your worth to, because servers crash, platforms fall, but the soul, it was never meant to be stored in a cloud. And until next time, stay curious, stay aware, and don't let the algorithm define you. Have a good night, guys. Bye.